go for a walk today. Show you this pretty hydrangea that I have in my yard. See the pink tinge on it? It's the way it gets in the fall. It's quite a big bush. I have a lot to do in my yard. A lot. But I've got to get out here and start working. Next week it's supposed to be in the 70s or around 70, so I think I'll come out and work then. But I thought I'd just walk with you for a little bit. It smells good out here. It's got that leafy fall smell, and a lot of the leaves are already falling. So wanted to tell you a story. This is inspired by Resale Rookie's story about what not to do at a yard sale. I have some advice for you also. This happened to me a year ago. We'll go this direction today. It's the opposite direction from when we last went. We went the other direction anyway. This happened to me a couple years ago, and it kind of made me not want to go yard sailing or thrifting for a while. It's very disheartening to me. I was at a yard sale. It was a fantastic yard sale. The lady had all these vintage items from her mother and aunt, I believe. Very old stuff and very unique jewelry she had. She had clothing, just you name it, she had it. And I was so happy to find a lot of good things. And I happened to think when I was there, I wonder if she has any vintage hats, because at the time I was doing really well on vintage hats. So I asked her, but let me preface that by saying I was at, as I was looking for different items, I was talking to a lady that I had seen before. She was also a thrifter. I'd seen her at churchyard sales, and so I recognized her, so I started talking to her. And I had asked her once before, I said, do you sell you sell your items that you thrift? Oh no, I just collect. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so we're looking at the same things, and I was being kind, and I said, well, you look through that and I'll look through this. And so we were after the same type of things, jewelry. She was picking out jewelry, I was picking out jewelry. I was also telling her all about it as I was picking it out. So she walks away, and her husband walks up and start talking to her husband. And her husband says, oh yes, my wife has a shop. Yeah, she sells. And so, okay. That wasn't very nice. It was not very honest of her to do that. So, mistake number one. Just be careful who you're talking to. Be careful what you're saying. I just tend to be too friendly, I think. And that's really gotten me into trouble. So anyway, to get on with the story. I saw this lady that I had recognized before. I saw her, and her husband walked over, said she had a shop. So she was behind me in line when I checked out of the yard sale. When I went to pay, she was behind me. And I asked the lady, oh, do you have any vintage hats? Like with feathers on, and, you know, old lady church hats, as I call them. And she said, oh my, yes, I've got a lot of those. And then she tells her daughter, go and get that trunk that has, or that box that has all those hats in it. Well, the little girl went, she came back, she said, I don't see it. And the mother said, oh, that's at the storage place. Well, we'll have it tomorrow. So I said, I'll be back tomorrow and I will get all of those. Maybe I didn't say I'll get all those. I don't think I did. I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back in the morning. So it was still dark. Dark, mind you, when I got there in the morning. And who do I see walking down the driveway with a humongous box? You're right, the lady. The lady that I'd been so nice to. She's walking down there with this big box. I said, oh, you beat me here. Yeah. So I wasn't thinking anything about it. I went on up the driveway and I said, oh, I came for the vintage hats. And the lady said, oh, she just bought them all. And I just don't even want to tell you what I could have done at that point. But the whole day, and I'm telling you, the rest of the summer, I think, I was just about done. I was just so upset about that. But it was my own fault. I love being nice to people. I love talking to people, but it's just not a good business strategy, I guess. So that's my story about what not to do when you yard sale, resale rookies. I always watch his videos. His was good. And that's my version. Yeah. Look, there's some coloring of the leaves here. I actually think it was prettier last year. Back to the reselling conversation. I'm starting to get overwhelmed. Do you ever get so much stuff and just looking at it makes me tired? It's so much more fun to buy stuff than it is to list stuff. And I mean, I'm doing okay in my Etsy and I'm doing okay with my jewelry, listing that. But the eBay stuff that's big, or clothing that you have to measure, and you know, I just and then the research and the fixing up the pictures, because I'm kind of a stickler about my pictures. I like them to look really, really nice, and I end up taking 20 pictures of one item probably, and then I have to sort through them and edit them. So yeah, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I actually think maybe this will be my last year for this. We'll see. I'm not sure. But there's some pretty scenery for you. The sky is really, really pretty blue today. So, yeah, just thought I'd take you on another walk. Probably seen most of this before if you watched my other video. This is up behind my house. It's beautiful every season. I like to come up here when it's snowy too. So I'm gonna go now. Hopefully I'll have a haul type video for you within the next few days. I have a few things in mind to show you, which I hope you'll like. But they're gonna be just out of my old inventory. I'm not buying anything. I just can't do that till I get rid of some things. So thank you for watching and listening to me rambling, and I would like some comments. I get a few people that comment, but not very many. I'd like to read what you think of my videos. Any comments or suggestions, or just thoughts on what I say. So yeah. So anyway, have a wonderful Sunday. Hopefully I will talk to you within a few days. Bye for now.